Good morning. In the last lecture, we started Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics and distribution law. We obtained these equations. Equation number 5. I have given this 5 now. What is the sequence you have taken in the last lecture? You can continue. P1 given by gi to the power ni, the maximum possible distribution of n number of particles among the energy levels. Equation 6, P2 is equal to n factorial divided by n factorial. This is the probability for selection of the groups n1, n2, n3, etc. for distribution among various energy levels. The probability P, product of P1 and P2, which is the maximum probability of distribution of ni number of particles among all the available energy levels, is P is equal to P1 into P2 is equal to, this is value of P1, g1 to the power n1 into g2 to the power n2 into g3 to the power n3 into, this is value of P2 n factorial divided by n factorial into n factorial divided by n factorial and so on. We use this symbol for summation. We call this as summation of I. This is product of various terms. We use this symbol for that. We read this as product of items, pi of I, meaning that product of items. So the total probability P of distribution of ni number of particles among all the available energy levels will be product of items n factorial divided by n factorial into gi to the power ni, equation number 7. Equation 7 is known as thermodynamic probability of distribution of n number of particles among all possible energy levels. We have one more definition for thermodynamic probability. Number of microstates corresponding to each macro state. This thermodynamic probability P is taken as maximum because it gives the maximum probable distinct ways of distribution of n number of particles among all possible energy levels. This P will be maximum, keeping in mind the restrictions that n and T are constant. In the last lecture we have seen this n is constant, n is equal to n1 plus n2 plus n3 and so on. Although it is very large but constant. Energy E, we wrote this E is equal to summation over I, n1 e1 plus n2 e2 plus n3 e3 and so on. This probability P will be maximum, keeping in mind this probability P should obey the condition that n and T should be constant. So keeping in mind that P is the maximum probability of distribution of n number of particles in all available energy levels and n and E are constant, we shall derive the expression for Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution. Let us take logarithm on both sides of equation 7. Taking logarithm of equation 7 on both sides, we will have what you have done? You have taken logarithm of equation 7. When we take logarithm, product gets converted to summation. So this product of I is replaced by summation of I. This is for first term. This is also for second term. The same is for the third term. So taking logarithm of equation 7, we have logarithm of b. Probability is equal to summation over I logarithm of n factorial minus summation over I logarithm of ni factorial plus summation over I ni logarithm of gi. To solve equation 8, we shall use Stirling approximation. We shall take help of Stirling approximation for solving equation 8. Stirling approximation is used for logarithm of factorial of a number. In general, logarithm of n factorial is equal to n logarithm of n minus n, equation number 9. This is the Stirling approximation. In general, if we have logarithm of factorial of number n, this is taken as n logarithm of n minus n. It is known as Stirling approximation. So we shall apply this Stirling approximation to first term and to second term. This is because it is factorial, it is also factorial. So applying equation 9, Stirling approximation to equation 8. Equation 8 may further be written as applying equation 9 to equation 8, that is applying the Stirling approximation. Equation 8 reduced to equation 10. Let us solve this equation 10 further. Now, let me write this as equation number 11. Summation of I is written outside and minus it will become plus, and all these terms are written in the bracket with expanded. This is what logarithm of equation number 11. Then maximum number is always a constant. However maximum, however large it may. P is very large. Logarithm P may also be large. If we differentiate equation 11 on both sides, P maximum very large but constant. So logarithm of P is also constant. And differentiation of a constant is 0. So if we differentiate equation 11, differentiation of equation 11 will be 0. If it is 0, then only we can say that P is maximum. If differentiation of equation 11 is not 0, P will not be maximum. So we assume that P is maximum, and for this P to be maximum, differentiation of equation 11 should be 0. So let me differentiate equation 11. N constant, Ln constant, n constant. So differentiation of these terms will simply become 0, 0. Minus. Differentiation of these three terms has become 0 and n is constant. Then come to this one. It is variable. These two are in product form. So let us apply product formula for differentiation of this. And that will be Ni into 1 divided by Ni into dni plus now keep this Lni constant, logarithm of Lni into dni plus J is constant, so ln of Gi into dni. This is further. This and this hand will cancel. The first term will be minus summation of r dni. Second term minus summation of logarithm of ni dni plus summation of logarithm of Gi dn. Come to this term. At the beginning of this article, we have seen that n is constant. We have taken n is equal to summation over r ni. And therefore summation of r dni is 0. With this term will become 0, and we left only with this differentiation of log of p is equal to minus summation of I logarithm of ni dni plus summation of I logarithm of Gi dni. Of course, this is equal to 0, or we may simply write minus can be taken common side with the other side, and I may further simply write logarithm of ni dni minus logarithm of Gi dni is equal to 0. We can put summation common to both the terms. Equation number 12. So, taking into consideration p as maximum, then take its logarithm and differentiating it to show that p is maximum. Differentiation of logarithm of p is 0. Taking that 0, finally we got this equation. Logarithm of ni dni minus logarithm of gi dni is equal to 0. Earlier we wrote two equations at the beginning of this article. Maybe equations 1 and 2. Summation of dni is equal to 0 and summation of ei dni is equal to 0. I don't know the equation numbers, maybe 1 and 2. Multiply this equation by alpha, this equation by beta. Multiply this equation by alpha, this equation by beta, and add these two in equation 4. And if we do this, the new equation that we obtain will be let me have summation for all outside. Logarithm of ni dni minus logarithm of gi dni plus alpha dni plus beta ei dni is equal to 0, or this may be further so after multiplying equation 1 by alpha, equation 2 by beta, and adding these two into 12 this way, and taking this dni common from all the three terms, we will simply have equation 13. Now let us simplify equation 13 further. This term can be written as logarithm of ni divided by gi log of quotient of two terms is log of numerator minus log of denominator. Okay, using this, let me write these two terms like this: logarithm of ni divided by gi. Let us transfer these two terms to other side. dn first side to other side, 0 by dni, that will be 0. Transfer these two terms to other side to get minus alpha minus beta ei. Equation number 14. Take antilog on both sides. Of equation 14. If you take antilog on both sides of equation 14, you will have this size ni by gi is equal to e to the power minus alpha minus beta ei. Or this is further ni is equal to gi into e to the power ni is equal to gi into e to the power minus of inside the bracket alpha plus beta ei. Equation 15 is known as Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution law. This law tells us how the n number of particles get distributed in J number of energy levels, and that is explained by this equation, and this equation is known as Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution law. This is one form of Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution law. There is one more form of Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution law. To get one more form of Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution law, let me start with the equation we considered in the beginning of this article. N is equal to N1 plus N2 plus N3 plus dash dash. We have considered this equation at the beginning of this article. We have Ni is equal to this thing. What will be N1? N1 will be equal to G1 e to the power minus alpha plus beta E1. So let me put the same thing here for N1 and N2 etc. So this equation will become G1 e to the power minus alpha minus beta E1 plus G2 e to the power minus alpha minus beta E2 plus G3 e to the power minus alpha minus beta E3. This can be continued. In all these terms, e to the power minus alpha, e to the power minus alpha, e to the power minus alpha, everywhere e to the power minus alpha is there. Let us take this e to the power minus alpha common. If e to the power minus alpha is taken common, the terms left will be G1 e to the power minus beta E1 plus G2 e to the power minus beta E2 plus dash. So we have n is equal to e to the power minus beta minus b e to the power minus alpha into G1 e to the power minus beta A1 plus G2 e to the power minus beta A2 and so on. Let us consider this bracket is equal to the term Z. Let us consider this bracket is equal to the term Z. The term Z is known as partition function. The term Z is known as partition function for Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics. So let us put Z for this bracket so that this equation may further be written as n is equal to e to the power minus alpha into Z, or we may write this Z is equal to let me write this e to the power minus alpha is equal to n divided by Z, equation number 60. So starting from the first equation, using equation 15 in the first equation, taking e to the power minus alpha common and considering this bracket as Z, partition function for MB statistics, we have one more equation, e to the power minus alpha is equal to n divided by Z. Come back to equation 15, we have e to the power minus alpha here. For this e to the power minus alpha, let us put n by Z from equation 16. If we use equation 16 in 15, equation 15 for MB distribution law will now become Ni is equal to Gi into n divided by z into e to the power minus beta ei. Equation 17. Equation 15 is Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution law. Equation 17 is also Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution law. Equation 17 is Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution law in the form of partition function z, where partition function z is given by this bracket. Equation 15 is also Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution law, but it is not written in the form of the partition function. It is written in the form of alpha and beta, which are unknown parameters for the given system. These unknown parameters can be found. It is not for syllabus. If you go to higher level, you are required to find values of these unknown parameters alpha and beta. So this is about second article, Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics and Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution. Hope you got it. Thank you.